I loved the peat pellets so much for the tomatoes. I wanted to see if I would like them just as much for other things. Wow, look at those roots already. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Hey, what's up? Welcome. My name is Crystal. I am outside today. This is my second attempt at potting up and repotting seedlings. These are the seedlings that I started in the peat pellets. They're cucumbers and melons, zucchini and summer squash. And I don't know that I would use the peat pellets again because it kind of seems like a waste. I should have just started them right directly into these containers with potting soil, and then they could have just grown in there until I transplant them into the garden. This just is an extra step of me having to repot them. I did pot up half of my tomato seedlings the other day when it was super windy outside. I couldn't even record really because the audio would have just been terrible. It was that windy. I did do half of those seedlings the other day. I hope to get the rest of them done today. Here is what the cucumbers look like in the peat pellet. I'm actually really surprised the Kajari melon, most of them sprouted. One of my August ambrosia seeds did. A lot of them sprouted really quickly. The gray zucchini didn't, Cocoselle zucchini, and the hearts of gold cantaloupe didn't. I'm not going to show you all of them. I'm just going to show you some of them because it's all pretty much the same. But this is the golden zucchini. And that's how that one looks. So I'm just gonna repeat this process over and over again until they're all done. It would have just been easier for me just to have the patent, just to start them in these containers directly. I always experiment with things and see what works better. This method for sure was not the best. I like it for tomatoes. With the tomatoes, I repeated the offense of starting way too many seeds again. And so the process of potting up is kind of tedious because there's so many. I actually find the process of potting up seedlings really relaxing, and I enjoy it very much because I get like the instant satisfaction of having all of these plants that I grew from seed. Wow, look at those roots already. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Alright, so here's the silver slicer. I have a few seeds coming up in here. I'm just going to keep these grouped together. This is a cucumber. I usually grow 2 or 3 seeds together in the garden anyway. Starting them in the peat pellets is super easy, and I really like that part, but it would be just as easy for me to start them directly in a container like this, like I have in the past, but I loved the peat pellets so much for the tomatoes. I wanted to see if I would like them just as much for other things, and not so much for the cucumbers and the melons and the zucchini. Alright, this one is a Boston pickling, and there are quite a bit in here. Let's see if I can separate some of those out. Alright, so that's how those look. The ones that haven't sprouted, I'll start new seeds today, but that's pretty much how they look. And like I said, I love the peat pellets, and I think they are a great option for seed starting. But I think for certain things, they're not the best. I really like them for starting tomatoes. I probably would like them for starting peppers. I haven't started peppers that way yet, but I might try that next year. They sprouted nicely. I'm happy with how they look, and we'll see. All right, here is one of the tomatoes in the peat pellet. It's the Amish paste tomato from High Mowing Organic Seeds. And I make extra labels just using masking tape and a Sharpie, just so I don't have to keep using up the plastic labels to mark the seedlings. So easy, you just peel away the peat pellet. I just gently break up the peat pellet with my fingers. Just loosen up all of those roots. And then I carefully separate the seedlings. Just like that, really easy. I take one of the containers and I press my thumb down as far as I can. I take a seedling. And I just keep doing that. Whenever I have transplanted seedlings, they always look really sad for a little bit and then they perk up. I did half of my tomato seedlings the other day and they all look really good now. So that's how those look. And some of them will go under the grow lights in our basement and some will go out to our greenhouse, and that's pretty much where they'll be until I harden off the seedlings and transplant them outside. I for sure prefer the peat pellets for tomatoes more than the cucumbers or melons so far, only because I feel like I could have just eliminated the step of repotting them by just starting them in these pots to begin with. When I start the seeds outdoors, when I direct sow them into the ground, I usually start three cucumber seeds grouped together, and they're still more vulnerable to pests, and many of them just end up not making it. So I find that starting these indoors and transplanting them outside, I will hopefully get a better harvest this year than I did last year. The year before, I started seeds indoors and I got a lot of cucumbers and zucchini, and last year I direct sowed everything and I didn't get as much. So we'll see. I don't know if it was a coincidence or the weather or the bugs, but that'll do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. I would super appreciate it, and subscribe if you're not subscribed, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.